How's it going, guys? My name's Honcho and welcome to 5 top tips for new players to realistic ground battles. This is a pretty simple one, as for the most part the default key bindings for ground tank battles are pretty spot on, but there's one important feature that isn't assigned, and that is the rangefinder. This feature activates the in-game rangefinder, which can be used from both the gunner sight or the commander's sight. This accurately works out the distance to an enemy vehicle, allowing you to be more accurate for those longer shots. To enable a rangefinder, we first must go to Controls, Ground Vehicles, Miscellaneous, and it's all the way down to the bottom. And as you can see here, I've bound mine to the button C. To accompany this, the next key binding I'm going to suggest is more of a change, but it is one that I highly recommend. So still in Controls, Ground Vehicles, Camera Control, and we're looking here at Mouse Wheel. On this drop down box, we want to set it to Sight Distance Control. What this now allows us to do is not only range a target, but we can also range our gun by scrolling the middle mouse wheel. For those who play with friends, the squad marker button can be a very handy one, as this places a marker on the map that everyone in your squad can see. This time it's Controls, Common and Basic, and the very last one is the one you want. The only other thing I can suggest is to check through most of the movement and weaponry bindings and make sure you have everything set up that is personal to your needs. Certain vehicles like the Russian SMK or Italian T-106 for example need 2 independent fire bindings to fire their 2 guns, so make sure fire from secondary guns is enabled. Now this may seem like a very silly one to mention here, but I find this one to be very important. The amount of ammo you carry in your tank actually makes a huge impact on your survivability, just because the more ammo you carry, the easier it is for an enemy to ammo rack you. After all that extra explosives is just there to help you go boom. Typically, depending on the vehicle, would determine how many rounds I'd carry, but usually it's no more than 15 to 20 rounds, as opposed to the 50 to 100 that some tanks can carry when full. In the hangar, clicking on the X-ray will show you where your ammo racks are located. This also shows as if the vehicle is fully stowed with ammo. Now in a battle, if you press O, it will show the correct amount and exactly where it is being stored. This will allow you to work out and optimize how much ammo you carry by making sure you are trying to store ammo in better places in the tank as opposed to being a driving box of TNT. Vehicle positioning and angling your armour is another great way to increase your survivability. Rather than just sitting face on at an enemy vehicle, just rotate the hull of your tank anywhere from 10 to 40 degrees. The reason for this is to help shots ricochet off you rather than hit square on and gain easy penetration. Finding the optimal angle to sit at in some cases can seriously increase your armour's effectiveness. Granted, this all varies from tank to tank, but this is something you can look at and work out in the hangar by clicking Armour. Once you've done this, just simply move around the tank and check the dimensions at this point. Notice in some cases it will be more than double the armour's original thickness. Going hull down is also another great tactic. This can be behind a hill, in a crater, or behind solid cover. In an ideal situation, only part of your turret is exposed, but with enough so you can fire out successfully. This way, your hull and some of your crew is protected by hard cover that cannot be penetrated. This is a great tactic for ambushing or long-range engagements. Obviously, where to shoot the enemy is crucial in all battles, but in realistic battles, learning your foe's weak points can allow you to exploit them even when you are in an inferior tank. In the hangar, there is a great little tool called Projection Analysis. This allows you to choose any tank and ammo combination and will tell you how successful your shots are from each and every angle, along with showing you the damage that it will inflict. When in battle, a few key components to take out are the barrel or gun breech. This will stop an enemy tank from being able to fire upon you. Engine. The engine bay usually has less armour, so it's easier to penetrate, and it is a great way to mobilise an enemy and set them on fire. Turret ring. This is the area between the hull and the turret. It is a common weak spot on many tanks and is usually a very reliable way to inflict a lot of damage. Such a simple feature, yet such a powerful one at all tiers of the game. Using your binoculars is a great way to look around the battlefield whilst moving or behind cover. In early tanks, your binoculars have greater range than your gun sights, and in later tanks they have thermal and night vision capabilities. A trick that I enjoy is called bino sniping. This is when you can't see a tank from your gun sights, but you can from the binos. Simply point your binoculars at the enemy vehicle, click the left mouse button and the turret will move to where you are looking. From here, you quickly switch to the gun sight, don't move anything and fire. This will take a bit of practice, but once you figure it out, it is a great way to take enemy tanks down that you're having problems seeing. Another feature is spotting. Many light vehicles have a picture of the binoculars in your loadout down below. This allows you to spot and mark enemy vehicles on the battlefield for the rest of your team. You can do this whilst on the move or from behind cover. Not only does this help by marking targets, but you also get research points and silver lions for every target marked, and an assist and more RP and lions if someone on your team destroys them. As I briefly mentioned earlier as well, you can also use your binoculars to range find. And so concludes my top 5 tips for realistic ground battles. Hopefully this video will have helped you pick up a trick or two. If it did, please leave a comment, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. On top of that, I stream War Thunder every Monday and Friday live on Twitch, along with some squad and other games during the week. All my links to my Twitch, Discord and other social media platforms are in the description below. Have a fantastic night, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next video. Good night.